You on, Hannah? Hello. Namaskar to all of you. So let's begin with a few seconds of silence. So during this time, we just remain quiet, silent, and breathe slowly for 1 minute, 15 times breathing in and breathing out. That becomes 1 minute. So with this 1 minute and concentrating on the flame, which we have put it right in the center, so we will begin our 2-day conference on universal, integral, multi-level education in the spirit of the new age. So we begin the silence. Oh. So I welcome you all to Bharat and to this conference. So we are really happy that this conference is happening. After so much of discussion with Mariana, with Tatiana and the whole team, now this is the reality today that we are meeting. And we will be having a lot of deliberations on this topic, different ideas, different practices, and different thoughts, opinions with regard to how do we universalize the whole process of education and add this element of universal. It should not be confined or constricted to a particular community, a particular nation. It has to go beyond, because we all belong to the whole universe. We're a part of the universe, and we must follow the underlying principles of the universe in all that we do. So with these few words, I welcome you again, and then I invite Mariana and Tatiana to speak few words before we start our sessions. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Maybe we will speak loudly.
Video. The video is fine.
No, that's okay.
That's okay.
No, that's okay.
Please start.
Okay. Dear friends and colleagues, we are very happy for this conference, and especially about the theme of this conference, because education is a very important sphere of humanity today. And we thought about where does the education began, and we answer this question in this way. Education begins where the inspiration of teacher is. When the teacher inspires his disciples, education is beginning. Okay, we very grateful for this day, and we want to congratulate all of us of this conference and thank Tara Jahar for blessing and introducing us for this conference, and to our now Indian friends, team of Sampadananda Mishra and the Center for Human Sciences, Rishikesh University. We were working very hard but very friendly half an year, and now we have a so good conference. Let's begin it. Okay.
We are very grateful also for all our friends that we obtained during last 30 years, because during these years we held a lot of conference on this topic, because education is very important for everybody, and we know that we create in education the image of the future human. Some of our friends expected this conference and considered it like a new wave of enlightenment in education. And we are very happy that our friends through the Zoom, through internet, can join us and be with us. We will try that this conference brings us new interesting cooperation, new projects, international projects. We also hope that after this conference, the circle of our friends, our colleagues, and people like-minded will increase, and the new era will come closer to all of us. Thank you very much for participation.
Thank you very much. And now we are a symbolic beginning of our conference. We would like to propose a little mystery of circle
Of unifying.
of un.
So it will be the cycle of unifying of all our energies, and we'll show you the video where we and the translation of our invocation, star invocation, and our Russian participants will make some tuning, some co-tuning to unite our energies and our aspiration for this conference.
If you don't mind. Okay.
Мы попросим всех туда встать и прочитать вместе великий
This is our tradition to begin all of our very important.
Лен, можно тебя попросить так круг сделать? To make a circle. Come. The big circle of unity. And it's how to say? It's, if it's possible, our friends from India to see on the screen, because here will be English title.
призыв эпохи Водолея. Отрази мир творящего духа, что порядка хранитель вселенский, логос солнечный звездного храма направляет творение разум в чашу матери солнечной жизни. Пусть из чаши звездного храма будет передан матерью звездной импульс жизни детям ее владыкам, лик принимающим логосов храмов планетных, чтобы нести малым жизням природы миссию силы стихий процветания. Пусть от логоса храма земного образ разума в чашу не сходит, зачиная направленной жизни в зерна духа от матери мира, что людские есть назначения от владыки к народам свершения. Жизнь, дающий поток зерен духа через владык детей светлоликих, облекается в три оболочки, в три мира фамилии рода народа. В монаду, что есть оболочка от мира богов для народов, в душу, что есть оболочка триад от мира огнепотоков, в личность, что есть оболочка от тонкого мира святынь накоплений. Пусть же в этом небесном союзе духа души и сознания рождение чуда детей новой эпохи Земли происходит. Пусть снисходят идеи грядущих свершений, устремленным в помыслы их и прогресса деяния. Пусть от светлых людей, союзы творящих, наполнится мир созидательной волей для воплощения импульса свыше в судьбы сообщества царства природы. Так обретается опыт согласия в мире, так созидается круг обережных союзов. Пусть потоком радужной жизни вбирается опыт согласия царств многоликой природы. Пусть на вершинах пирамид накопления народов растут кристаллы души злата синтеза всех обретений. Пусть же поток царств природы планетный, опыт новый от радужной жизни вобравший, да устремляется ввысь в чашу матери мира, рождая золотые ступени миров иерархии света. Пусть же умножатся все накопления царств природы в чаше матери мира, обережный круг образуя земли благодатный и мудрый. Пусть от зла мир хранит круг бережный, приумножив гармонию жизни, да откроется путь восхождения в храм судьбоносный логоса мира. Пусть же планетные логосы храмов раду корпит солнцеликого мира второго, их достижения направят в чашу матери звездной. Пусть в покровах ее древа растет звезд творения, да вознесутся из чаши дары высим созвездий, круг обережный вояя логоса солнца. Пусть же пульсирует жизнь в теле зодчих вселенной, и да расширится мир звездных храмов галактик. Пусть же звучит в мироздании аккордами веры вечная песня бережья вселенского зова.
Thank you. Begin our conference. The first presentation is founder and head of International Scientific School of Universology, honorary doctor of the Lviv Stavropol University, full member of the International Scientific Academy of Ecology and Life Safety, Odessa, Ukraine, Polikov Vitaly Andreevich.
I would like to greet all our participants. Pardon for our English. It's not our native. That's why we will do lots of mistakes, but we'll try by heart to express idea of new epoch, of new generations, of new ideas, and really new education, and a big sphere of understanding different and wholesome development. And really, we start from the idea that world is changing. But modern science cannot find an explanation for many phenomena. By the way, because it's not so easy to listen me, I put this material on screen, that's why you could see it. And so, all manifestations of life have changed. The balance of four elements in nature has been disrupted. The world is becoming increasingly unstable. That's why the world needs balance and harmony. But without knowledge of the path, it isn't not possible to create the future. New education in a new era. We, on the basement of a new epoch of Aquarius, prove that it will be based on the disclosure of the inner world of man, the collective strategy, the system of public self-management, and the nature-oriented way of life. That's why a new era requires a new architectural design for the creation of the temple of life. And it's connected to a great part of world, future and past, and a current time. And I'll show you some pictures, because it's necessary not only to read, not only to take by mind information, but by heart, to feel it. That's why our system in fusion. A new era requires a new doctrine of development. That's because new era and new foundation. A new era requires a new scientific development paradigm. All eras started to change the world, and this changing, and this time connected with Pluto, which came to Aquarius 2 weeks ago. The January 20, Pluto came to Aquarius, and it's the data when Aquarius started in a full energy, and world will be changed much more. And we could prognosticate this process, and that's because lots of practices, universology, create and also propose to world. In educational system, it will be new steps, and we'll try to see. Universology is the spirit of the time. That's the first doctrine of causality of existence, synthesis, and the sense of life, the philosophy of epistemology, relativism, causal systemic holism, hierarchy of systems, integration, inversion processes. Second, interdisciplinary science as a synthesis of achievements in science and world culture to justify the essence of a new way of life, continuous education system, self-management system, united energy system, and so on. a universal scheme of action of the general laws of being. And that's the main topic. And third, methodology of the systemic approach, universal, modeling, collective strategy, and so on. Fourth, practice of a balanced, healthy, nature-oriented way of life. And fifth, model of the future, how to dream and embody dreams into image of the future. And before I'll go further, I would like to show some universal topic in culture. Maybe our friends from India knows much better than we these features, balance which gods will create to land. Look here on the screen. This process when the three gods, the main gods, Mahadev, Vishnu and Brahmadev, created floor. Shiva make a position to, I've seen it all series, and afterwards it's necessary to show the models. It's possible to design, to make a diagnostic, prognostication by these models, because the process going on, structure of space and development in a time, energetical spreading up, it's all universal processes like this. Look on the screen. NASA show the world how universe are working, if it's possible to say so. But no laboratory can explain why in this way all process in the universe going on. And universology so necessary in this process. Look here, creation or construction of universe. If it's possible to switch off this light. Okay. Thank you. Our part of universe, our galaxy, Milky Way, and everything looks like a house, but scientists was surprised when they've seen this picture, the correct organization of universe, like cause and sentence model. It's the same. All universe constructed in the same scheme. More organized world is like a plus, like a yang, man's aspect. Less organized world, like a yin, material aspect. That's why two poles. And we have a first law of universe, then second, because it will be always repeated in all spheres in micro or microcosmic, and we have this activity of laws everywhere. Afterwards, it's only part of universe, because it's a holistic way, but not only holistic, but cause system holistic way, because we describe the way how its creation carry on. That's our universe, and that's the universal way of creation, and nobody can prove why in this way. That's why universology needs two people. And so, that's why models we use And by the way, Indian way, you can memorize this scheme. And in different civilizations, the same scheme. And that's why it's possible to describe what energy zodiac put on life and so on, because this scheme has two ancient roots, and now it was necessary to produce universal modeling, and so that's why we have it. And we could calculate fate of person, because we know elements of system. And we could answer the main questions of people. A new era gives birth to a new way of life. What's the new way is? And that's really a very important question for everyone. In all cultures, this way, it's a spiritual way. But in Aquarius, spirituality must be given to all people, and to be like a science, spiritual science. And education must consist of these topics. We try to do it. We try to involve in official educational system in different places. We've done it, and results very good, because course systemic education gives a bright result. A new way of life gives a birth to a new worldview, a causal, systemic, hierarchical, value-based. Other participants will show these levels more in more deep way. I'll show only. And also formula of future, formula of civilization. Why we are talking about a role of India? Big role. Just a moment, I'll show you. I'll do my best to say cradle of mother of the world, India. Why? It's not emotional question. It's a question of system of our world. That's why we are here. That's why we've done a great expedition. 21 temples was, how to say, visited first of all, then learned their construction. We've found four periods, four main historical periods of their creation. We've done a big openings, and maybe about it we'll talk in next time. But it's very interesting. But first of all, it's necessary to show that India is the end of evolution and beginning of evolution. From this place, all activity, if it isn't suitable for future, stops, and like seeds of new life begin. That's why here we put all crystal of souls of experience 12 civilization in India by our participant of expedition. And all temples where we've been, we changed our experience and experience of this temple. And that's really a big process. And some words about it afterwards. Now let me go then. And so, you see that the processes in world culture, different view, but the same universal ideas, the same laws. a new way of life gives birth to a new worldview. That's really we could find in all civilization. And a new way of life gives rise to a new thinking, synthesizing, figurative, four-dimensional, sensory, logical, non-standard. And it's not only slogan, it's a practice, how to balance four elements, four force of nature in person to burn fifth element, soul. And that's why we show the way how to go after the system in which person developed. And it's practice a fourth stage of inversion. Inversion, it's mathematical meaning how to do the process like a fourth law of cycles. I show you practice. You could read, and all these practices connected with laws of universe of and by the way, they exist in different cultures. That's why we not only prove, but also we are seeking this practice in different cultures. Really, models the same, but lots of practice they could do possible for person. Cyclogram, age-related development, and it's really possible to see a future person, to make a model of future. That's why it's so necessary. Why? Because all scientists knows fractal construction of world. It's usually scheme, but science can't prove why world exists in such a way. Why micro and microcosmic the same, only different space, time, energy, but the same structure. And universology describes, and the main conclusion, it was possible to make a prognosis of development, because we know the next step, the next after next, and so on. It's possible to describe and to calculate also. And also to change a way of person. It's like we've done from the first moment, attunement to flow of life. From God's, it means from highest system, from universe, galaxies, constellations, and this process like an axis of spirit. And all of us must go of this way, because it's our chakras, it's our level of conscience, and well-balanced world without wars, without catastrophes, without problems. How to make world live in like a heart of universe, spreading or cycling universe. This theory was in a previous era, but we've proved how it works. And this scheme, it's only to show, to see and so on, but it's possible to use to construct energetical processes, to prove it. United energy system. It's a real flow of life of Aquarius. And that's why in your mind the system 12 civilization of Lotus of the world. All civilization must put experience in the basement to grow up a new program of development. That's why we've learned culture of India. We really only started to do it, but we've done too many very important steps, and traveling and learning, and we have seen stone, big stone foundation of temples, then megalithic, then simple stones, small, then different periods. It means different periods in the creation of this temple. It's not one moment was constructed. 1,000 years and different civilization building this temple. From giant to this period. And that's why schemes of our learning material. It's only to see this. And that's why the new doctrine of development envision peaceful coexistence of nations, political, social, and economic groups and individuals. It's so necessary because without peaceful coexistence, it will be always only some struggle and wars in different scales. And models also prepared. And that's why peaceful coexistence is the condition for the development of the entire universe. It's not only on the land, on our earth. All universe development and the way of peaceful coexistence. And next. So all these themes, it's necessary to spread up, but I only declare first topic, and so round table talks will give more information about construction, about our life, about time and energy. The age of Aquarius is the era of the flow of life, the revelation of the inner world of destiny under the aegis of Uranus management. In the stream of life, there occurs the merging of the rivulets of destinies and purposes shaping collective consciousness and a collective strategy for creating destinies. Really, these processes going on, and the stream of Aquarius life is formed by the unity of destinies. This gives birth to the multi-level structure of public self-government, self-management may be more correct, and a new nature-oriented framework for socio-economic life, shaping a new holistic and comprehensively developed individual with causal, systemic, non-standard, imaginative thinking, a representative of the haplogroup of the water element, a new mankind. So, since the new era requires a new architectural project of creation, for this purpose, the integrity of the worldview, a new scientific theory and practice of life are necessary. And so on. All materials will be spreading up on our roundtable meetings, and I hope that door a new life will be opened by our meeting. A new education will also be provided in our life. Thank you very much. Pardon for my language. I tried.
Thank you. Thank you for very important and interesting report about based universology. And I think we have many times to speaking about our expedition around India from December this year, I think, in our coffee breaks maybe. But we continue our work, and let's introduce you our colleague and friend Tatiana Khainatska, PhD in Public Administration, Lotus, Poland, coordinator of postgraduate department of the International Scientific School of Universology and of the International Institute of Universology. Is there text? We need some help about to keep screen.
I have a little problem because I have a single screen.
We have a little minute, but we have talked before our conference with our colleague and now I think friends from Center Human Technologies, and I think our reporters will be very interesting for you in your research works. Please, Tatiana.
Thank you for introducing. I would like to present you the activity of Postgraduate Department of International Scientific School of Universology, and the title of it is The Transformation Power of New Epoch Consciousness. I think that my presentation will be more simple, and I should like to show you how our...
You can stand on this.
Okay. Thank you very much. So my presentation will be more simple, maybe more understandable, because I'll tell you about main goals of our International Scientific School of Universology, its postgraduate department, and I will show the educational system that we created in the last 30 years, and it is functioning now very successfully. And from our postgraduate department of International Scientific School of Universology graduated 1,000 people. So, International Scientific School of Universology brings to mankind a new cause and effect system worldview and a new interdisciplinary science of synthesis of world culture that reflects a fullness of cause and effect. So we all the time will show in the models that we could see this cause and how it influences to our life, to our effect part of our life. So universology that we represent today and tomorrow, it's the learning and methodology and the style of life that brings us the new image of human of future. So our research, experimental and implementation work is aimed to revealing of inner world of the human that achieve a new level of scientific worldview, of understanding what the human is, what is his surrounding, and how to be, how to act according to the laws of nature. Because every human is the part of nature. And now even our conference shows that we need a lot of techniques that are not the part of nature, yeah, but we need them, and we don't develop our natural possibilities and talents, but we just use some technical equipment that is in nowadays it's necessary for us. So, universology appeared not now. It can be said that it is very ancient science, and even before Christ, we see some signs of universality of consciousness of human being, and such examples we can. See in the science of Egypt, India, then later, after Christ, in the astrologists and philosophers of different countries. Then in the 11th and 14th century, society, universality of universe, and so on. And only in 1994, the International Scientific School of Universology was created, and till nowadays it develops this idea of universality in universology. And here you can see the title of the book that was published in 1972, and it is in the library of University of California. When we see the title, The Basics Outline of Universology. So we are not the first, our school is not the first that proclaims the universality of the world and universality of the consciousness of people, of every man and woman. I would like to show you the structure of our school. We have 7 main directions of investigation. Here you can see systemology, philosophy, management, education, psychology, sanitation, and modeling. And every this direction is developed by institute. For example, the direction of systemology is developed by the Institute of Universal Forecasting. And we have seen today the schemes, astrological schemes. Here we know that all universe, all planets of stars has a great influence of everybody of us, and we should remember about this and to investigate this influence and taking into account in our everyday life, in our developing of science, developing of education. And the second direction is philosophy. It is developed by the Institute of Social Systemology. So it's the art of self-managing, self-government, it's collective strategy, and many other techniques and methodologies. The third direction, management. The Institute of Universal Managing has a lot of different models that we are learning how to use them in our everyday life and also in managing enterprises and different organizations. Then the fourth, education, what is the themes of our conference, is presented by the Institute of Development of Unconventional Intellection and Human Consciousness Inversion. Then the fifth institute is Universal Development Technologies, then Universalities of Health, and the seventh one is Universal Space Modeling. So these institutes experimentally implement universal models in all areas of our life. The main goal is to introduce into society a new causal, systemic worldview and a new universal type of thinking. So we now see that universology has a great number of different tools that can be used in our life and in our system of education. As the science, universology has its object and subject and research hypothesis, and you can see it here on the screen. And all these our features, scientific, experimental, exploration features, are characterized by systemic approach to all our life, to our activity, and everything that we can transform in our life. Methodological sources of universology we can see even in ancient times, beginning from Pythagoras, that gave us the doctrine of opposites, then other sciences and philosophers represents the universality of our life, of structure of universe, and even to our days we see that the parts of this universality appears in different sciences, and universality tries to join all of them in one science, in one methodology that shows this universality and how it influences in our life. If you have seen, we have a lot of different models, schemes. We try to show that the human being is not just one body. We have at least 7 bodies, and every body has its goal, its purpose, and every of this body has influence on other people. And it's necessary to show our children and everybody that the human being is a complicated energy system. And we at our school study how to manage all these bodies, how to harmonize them, because the more we are harmonized, the happier a human being is. So the science about epochs. So it's I think every intelligent human being should know at what epoch he or she is living, at what it means for him or her. Now we know that we are in the transition period from the Pisces area to the area of Aquarius, and we know that religions are changing, and even 10, 20 years ago we were it was enough for a man to believe and to pray and to ask something. But now we know that everybody of us is the continuation of the God's hands on the earth. So every of us is becoming the part of the God. We have a very systemic approach to the global crisis civilization, and we know that crises begin when people cannot transfer their mind from the old epoch to new epoch. And now we see a lot of conflicts, crises, wars, and so on, because the consciousness of most of the people is not open, is not friendly, and don't understand that some period passed and we should think and act in different way. So the laws of nature, I think this direction is the most important for all of us. As it was said, everybody of us is the part of nature. And what are the laws of nature? If we don't know these laws, it's very difficult to live. It's difficult to investigate ourselves, our surrounding. We don't know the direction in which we should develop and so on. So it's a great area of knowledge that everybody should got and use in her or her life. So, going further, our International Scientific School of Universology was created in 1994. It's a voluntary public association of people conducting educational and research work. It's united hundreds of collectives in different countries, and now we are proud of this fact that in our school we have representatives and from Russia, Ukraine. There are no conflicts and wars in our life. We all are friends, and we are creators of new life. So going further, now I, with great pleasure, want to introduce you the structure of our educational system. We called it Temple of New Education in a New Era. So, at the basis of this temple, there are three structures. The first one is the International Union of Universology Universities. So, in every country, we have one or more universities that schooled people. Then they entered Universology academies, where they create their own courses, educational products, and try to change their surroundings, the mind of this surrounding, the conscious of these surroundings, according to the future epoch. And International Coordination Council, it united people from different countries and developed the science and art to be together. Because we know that sometimes people can't be together because they are too egoistic. But New Epoch demands from us to learn how to be together. And our families and our groups, organizations, enterprises, and our society, we know that the lack of unity, it's crisis, it's conflicts, and so on. And here in these columns we see 7 institutes about that I already said. Maybe I'll say about them once more. So it's Institute of Universal Forecasting, Social Systemology, Universal Managing, Systemic Education and Universology, Psychosystemology, Universalities of Health, and Universal Modeling. And maybe this system, maybe it's not so complicated, but it has many systemic levels. For example, the newcomer comes to club, then he or she learn the basis of new conscious. Then he or she goes to the team and become the part of new activity, and there he or she can establish new chair or even institute and lead experimental and research activity. It's very important for us to introduce our 7 strategic goals. The first one is the creation and dissemination of the synthesizing and universal learning of universology. So to show the people that their conscious should be another, more universal and more appropriate to the new epoch, new coming epoch, right? The second one is the creation of the core of the synthesis of 12 main civilization achievements. We can see here on our banners this 12 civilization, and it's very important for us to show that we are transferring now from the 11th civilization to 12, and that this transition period is rather difficult for all of us. But what is more important to understand what is 12th civilization should synthesize from the culture of previous 11 civilizations. Then the third task is formation of a new social economic way of life corresponding to the spirit of new time. Then fourth task is bringing new knowledge to progressive humanity in the system of continuing education. That's why we organize a lot of different conferences in different countries and try to discuss all these problems, because sometimes people does not see that the world view that is educated in our schools has 100 or even more years. So our children get not modern worldview, but old and not appropriate for our times. And then the fifth task is the creation of the image of activities of the future. It's very important to show our children, everybody of one, what professions are actually for the new epoch. Here we also have the idea of cities of future, or cities of sun, cities of masters, pyramid temples of the world.